You can help by making your home more energy efficient. Together, we have the power to make a difference.
This message brought to you by Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation.
Hi, this is Kennedy Hayes of the Milan Hayes family, and you're listening to Middle Tennessee and Southern Kentucky's new home of great gospel music, right here on AM 1100 WSGI, Springfield, Tennessee, God's Informer.
One street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold, but things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't. Life, there's nothing certain except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I have today. Except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Over. What's going on? One street over from where you live in. That's what we want to know when we get together here. And just a programming reminder, I'm taking a couple of weeks off. I'm a school teacher and I need to take a summer break. So Lee Marie's going to be filling in for me starting tomorrow. I'll be back the Monday before we go back to school and get back at it. And I have got a fellow teacher here with me. Jane Ann Moss is in the house, and we have known each other. I'm going to have to get up on that microphone, sweetheart. She's like, I've not done this. But how long? We've known each other forever. Because you're
probably since like your children were kindergarten, preschool.
I guess.
At least.
Yeah, but you figure her dad was one of the coaches of my boys whenever they were at Good Pasture, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yes.
What position did your dad coach?
Defensive line.
He was defensive line. See, my husband would know all this thing.
Right.
You know, I'm not the sports person. So we go way back. We're Good Pasture family. Mm-hmm. And were y'all at Madison?
We were at Madison. I think I had the twins in Sunday school.
Okay.
At kindergarten age.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
But I ran into your mom and dad at Sam's. You know how we'll do. And if y'all remember, we prayed for Janie Grace Moss back in the fall because she is the young girl that was running and collapsed and had a heart defect that y'all weren't aware of, right? Is that basically
it didn't. We have met with doctors all over the country, like I'm
trying to.
Yes, and we have been told that sometimes in science we want everything answered. And in this case, that the doctors, that there is no answer that what happened to her, that there is a being that needed her and wanted to use her as an example more, is what all the doctors have told us from Vanderbilt, Centennial, Cincinnati, that she had an elite heart of an athlete. There was no infection, no damage, no anything wrong with it. And they just don't know why. There's no answers why.
Wow. See, I had not heard that. We just all, knowing you guys and seeing it, we just, well, there was some kind of underlying condition that somebody didn't know, and it happens. It happens.
It does.
And so that's kind of what we all assumed. I had not heard this, Janie.
Yeah. And we were very thankful. I mean, as a parent, that I don't have a regret that I had missed something.
Right.
And that's what the doctors had said.
Right. I get that. Right.
Yeah. No, it was just, it was something that happened, and God needed her.
Man.
So,
and you and I have been just sitting here talking. I had to really pay attention to what I was doing, because I haven't seen her since y'all lost Janie Grace. I haven't seen you in years. And we're family.
Yeah.
We're Good Pastor family. We're spiritual family, and it's one of those things. Just like we're family, and so as we're sitting here talking about it, there's just so much that you want to say and nothing that can be said other than you. I think you said it best when you see what God did with this, and the people that were drawn to Christ because of your precious girl.
Right.
And I mean, speak a little to that, because that was powerful.
Yeah, there's been so many that have come to Christ, and there's so many that have reached out to us. One of her friends, shortly before the week before it happened, she was talking about something she was going to attend at Halloween, and Janie Grace stopped her running and said, "You're better than that. Don't go." And this young lady has ended up changing her life. She wrote us and said she didn't go to the party she was going to go to. She has gotten baptized. She is going to go into ministry in college. She changed everything, and she wrote us a letter thanking us for Janie Grace's life, and that Janie Grace has saved her for eternity, that she didn't know the path she was going down.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. Something your mom told me. And my kids went through Good Pastor, and sometimes when you're raised up in a Christian school environment, you take it for granted. And I mean, that's just something everybody struggles with, because it's something it's just part of what you do. And something was said about how that she was getting frustrated that they would come together at chapel, because you have daily chapel at Good Pastor. Do they do it every day still?
Well, they do it every day except on the late start Thursday.
Okay.
But they have Bible class every day as well. Yeah.
So you're getting scripture every single day, but when you come together at chapel, the kids have quit singing.
Yeah.
Tell that. Do you want to tell that? So what? Because I know that at the memorial.
Yeah,
they did address that.
Teenagers are teenagers.
Right.
And they have their peers. And let's just be honest, a lot of students who go to Good Pastor now, their parents are sending them there to learn the Bible, to learn scripture. It's not taught at home as much as it used to be.
Right.
They feel like, hey, we're going to school for church, and they can help teach my child this. And so it's just it's something people, like you said, take for granted, and just didn't start singing as much. And they did at the celebration. Everybody just sang and sang and sang, like the songs that we had chosen. But the next few days back at chapel, they said it was just unreal with everybody singing. It was just powerful.
I just think that was one thing your mom was telling me that I just thought was so powerful.
Yeah.
Is to hear that. And again, just these little things that are just having this big ripple effect. And the reason why we're doing this today, guys, y'all doing a 5K.
We are.
In her memory. And it's on her birthday. And let's just talk about all of that, because you need to get registered for it and be a part of this, because this is going to be huge. It is going to be huge. So that's the main reason that we wanted to have Jane Ann come in, is to tell you guys about that, because we've already missed the early bird registration, right?
It has. For the 18 and under, it was the same price no matter what. We aren't changing that. Just for adults, we did go up $10 because of ordering items and things to get prepared.
Absolutely. But go ahead and unpack. That's what we're here to talk about, but we want to talk about this incredible beautiful child, this beautiful life, and an incredible legacy that that has been left in her memory. And two, I want to talk about the City of Children, all that stuff. But let's go ahead and unpack the 5K because we've only got a half hour. And I mean, we could sit here and talk. I mean, we could just chit chat for a while with all of our past history. But so tell them about the run and give all the particulars on that real quick. And then
so August 23rd, it's Saturday, August 23rd. It's Janie Grace's would-be 19th birthday. We are hosting a 5K and a 1 mile family fun walk. The 5K will begin at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the 1 mile walk will begin shortly after at 7:30. It's at Moss Wright Park in Goodlettsville. It's actually the place where everything happened with Janie Grace in October. We're working hard. We're hoping that there's going to be a lot of pink because that was her favorite color, pink bows, pink ribbons, and everything in honor of her. We have a musician coming in that's going to be singing and singing some Christian, upbeat Christian contemporary music as well as the race is going. As you register, each bag is going to contain a prayer card, and the prayer card will have a prayer and a Bible verse over the 4 qualities that we've written about Janie Grace. A lot of people say LLJG. But in doing this, I wanted everybody to know what living and loving like Janie Grace actually meant. The 4 qualities that we had actually talked about when we gave her original scholarship was her unconditional love, her unwavering faith, her joyful spirit, and her servant heart. So the prayer card has verses with that you'll receive before, but throughout the course of the race, we've made big banners with pink ribbons that has unconditional love and has one sentence that shows how you can have unconditional love like Janie Grace and unwavering faith, and it goes through her faith being the bedrock of her foundation, her servant heart, so that we're hoping to incorporate a lot of really special spiritual things as well throughout this whole race, and making it more of an event and not just a race. We're excited.
I think your mom was telling me all about it, and she was so excited. And they were telling me about some teams that are coming.
Yes, we're encouraging lots of school teams to come to do it together to make it a team bonding experience, or even as individual. Lots of cross country teams. Janie Grace loved cross country. It was one of her things. She loved a spirit stick. One of the things they talked about at her celebration, her teammates were discouraged one day, and she picked a weed and started running with the weed and told them that this was her makeshift spirit stick during practice to try to inspire her cross-country team to keep going. And she was passing the weed along to different members.
I love it.
So, we're trying to encourage. We're going to have a banner at the end of the race that lists all the different organizations or school teams that are there. Her Excel swim team, we're hoping, can participate. I know several of them have registered already. The cheer teams as well, because she was a cheerleader. In one of her journals that she had written, she wrote at the end of it that she's the Lord's cheerleader. Oh. And there's so many neat things. We have been reading a lot of journals that she has written. But starting about 6th grade, everything that she wrote in a journal, she would end it with "Be a Light, XOXO, Janie Grace." So the name of this race is "Be a Light," 5K, a memorial run for Janie Grace Moss.
I love it. I love it. It's just beautiful. And when they told me about it and I started looking into it, I was just like, man, we got to talk about this. And we're going to have to talk about it every year. Yeah. We're going to have to because, this is going to be a yearly thing, right?
Yes, we're hoping to keep it going for at least 3, 4, 5 years. This race, this year, we're hoping to fully fund her scholarship fund. Okay. It is at Good Pasture Christian School. The teachers nominate students, and then our family goes through and picks. We give the 4 qualities that we're looking for, and then our family, actually, my other 2 children as well, spoke during this awards day about what it means to live and love like Janie Grace, and hoping that these students can embody and learn to live like that. One of our scholarships went to Tennessee State University. One went to the University of Tennessee Chattanooga. One went to Sanford, and one went to Trevecca this year. Oh, wow. So our goal is to continue this scholarship fund through all the children at the school that were affected by this, and do a couple of scholarships every year for the next 15 years or so. So this year we're hoping to fully fund it. And then from there, part of the proceeds would go to Grace Place Ministries in Henderson, Sumner County, and as well as City of Children.
And talk about Grace Place. This is I didn't know about Grace Place.
Yes, when
something that
Janie Grace
just fell in love with.
It did.
Right?
When Janie Grace and her sister Adelaide were 12 and 10 years old, or around those ages, they decided for their birthday, instead of have people bring presents, they had their friends and family give gift cards for the mothers that have been through domestic abuse, drug abuse, not knowing how to, single moms with children. Grace Place in Hendersonville brings them in, and it's a 3-year education program. They live there with their children. They give the moms support and teach them how to be and live on their own with their children. So the gift cards are given to the moms so they can go spend and do things there and not hand them cash or whatever. And so throughout the thing, Janie Grace has always done different works and jobs for Grace Place as well.
And so that's just one of her passions.
It is.
And I just love that y'all bringing all of this in there and just sharing her heart, because when you see somebody, I mean, at her age, to have a heart for this type of ministry so young is just so beautiful. And I just love this legacy that y'all are just, absolutely stoking the fire for, to be the light. I love your little flyers too. They're just absolutely beautiful. That promotes it. It's just a beautiful little picture of her. And that's one thing too, as we think about all this and all the things that she did. You were talking too about the City of Children. And if people don't know what the City of Children is, I talk about Baja Missions. We facilitate, I'm involved with the Baja Missions program, which plants churches down the Baja Peninsula. We go in and change the communities from the inside out. Because when kids were coming into the City of Children, they're like, what can we do to where these parents can hang on to their kids and not, because a lot of the kids at City of Children, just their parents just have no resources to take care for them. Maybe they're not, their parents aren't passed, but they just can't care for them. And that's how they end up at City of Children. But you're saying that, I know that y'all said that Janie Grace had been to City of Children how many times? And y'all just recently, so tell that story.
Yes.
I love how we're all just so connected, because I talk so much about Baja Missions, and it's all connected to City of Children and all down in Ensenada. It's just a beautiful thing. So tell about her experiences with City of Children.
So Janie Grace had been to City of Children 3 times in the past 7 months. She had a heart for children. She had a heart for serving and to sharing God and just making others smile. City of Children did have a tragic accident, and it's pretty incredible. The little boy that had an accident, a week and a half before it happened, I have a picture of him and Janie Grace together.
You're kidding.
Yes, and it just brings chills to your arms that she's holding him in heaven now and taking care of him. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, he was a little Spitfire child, and I love it. I mean, biggest smile in the world, but he loved mischief just like a lot of children, and she chased him around the campus and everything, but she had a heart for the City of Children, and she loved everything about it. She loved the people there. She loved just the smiles that brought on their face in serving in that way. So a few weeks ago, our family decided, timing's always hard, but we had to make it a priority, if our other 2 children would like to go see what their sister loves so much and where her heart was. And the whole week we were there, we could feel God all around us. It was hard. There was a lot of emotions, a lot of happy times, a lot of sad times, a lot of just seeing God in different ways, but it also helped our other 2 children to see their sister's heart and what she loved and what she was passionate about, and just serving the Lord in that way. And I shared with LaVern that we also got to do one day at the Baja Missions as well. And it was very eye-opening, just what the families there do and where they live. And we handed out food bags to them. We would sing "God is so good" in Spanish. Father Franco would just call on my son or whoever. He's 12, but when Father Franco tells you to do something, you do it. So he would yell at him, "Bentley, you're going to say a prayer right now." And Bentley would have to say the prayer. And we would do a little devotional with those families. And then we went back to the city and did the VBS at night for the children. It was very humbling, very.
I can't believe that y'all were there, because I mean, I have so much that's just home away from home for me. Baja Missions, and it's down there, and it's just I just love that y'all were.
We're very excited. The family that I was sharing with you about, that they have the friend of Janie Grace that's changed her life. We're actually going back in over New Year's, and going to share the City of Children with her and her family.
I love it. I love it.
So we get just a different capacity, but just as a families, we're going to go and share with them where Janie Grace's heart was.
I have to know, did you share the picture of Janie Grace with the little boy that was killed in the accident with anybody?
Yes, it was in a slideshow, and I've shared it with the workers and things there.
Okay.
They all knew Janie Grace. It just made everyone tear up.
Do you know Ilda Lopez?
I know the name, yes.
She's just one of my very best friends, and
Yeah.
she retired and moved down. She has dual citizenship.
Okay.
So she worked in, she's like
So I
an
don't-
engineer. But you would know her if you saw her, and I bet she would love to send that picture to me.
I will.
I want to make sure she's got it.
Yes. Do you know Pilar by chance?
yes,
So
very
Pilar
well.
was at City of Children when we went in college, and she actually
Okay.
attended a Lipscomb.
Yeah.
And so Pilar came over and visited us with us one day.
Okay.
And then Alessandra is who is running now.
Yeah.
So we spent a lot of time with her and her children.
Pilar is just
Amazing.
just an amazing woman. Pilar is somebody that grew up in the City of Children
Mm-hmm.
and has worked there. She's amazing. She's
Yeah.
amazing. But Ilda is one of her best friends, and she's kind of, you would know her if you saw her. But Ilda's working now at the City of Children, but also in his Table by the Sea. Have you know about this?
I don't.
That is a transitional home for kiddos that are wanting to go to university as they leave the orphanage.
Okay.
Because they don't have family to live with while they're in university. So they have this transitional home for these kiddos to go into to help them while they're going in and advancing their education.
Okay.
And so that's something that Ilda is very, very big involved with.
Okay.
And Pilar, all of them are.
Yeah.
Laura and all of them.
So what's amazing about the City of Children right now is they've had the unique opportunity of each night being able to go out into the city of Ensenada and bring vans of children and family into the city and do VBS with the community.
It's wonderful.
And feed the community. And we made lunches for them to take back to their house each day. So as they're waiting upon the children to start returning, which is very soon, hopefully, they're getting to serve the community, and they've seen a door that is opened that they're not only going to be able to serve the children in the orphanage, but now they have an outreach
Wow.
with the community. And for Sunday church service, they're going to leave that door open and continue to work with the community and the children in the orphanage as well.
That's incredible. Look, see what God did with that.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about, there was an accident last year at City of Children that, and this young boy lost his life, and so the government shut it down for the moment.
Yeah.
But it's about to reopen. I was talking with Ilda just the other day, and she was saying that they're close. And
They
so-
are.
and so
Thursday that we were there,
Yeah.
we got the announcement that all charges have been dropped.
Awesome.
And we we were actually sitting in the amphitheater on a hill for a nightly Devo when that news came in.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I could see Janie Grace running and smiling and jumping up and down during that.
Because it's an amazing ministry, guys. What they've done at City of Children, it is breathtaking and it's beautiful, and it was what birthed Baja Missions, and all that. My friend Ilda, she actually just kind of stumbled on it, So we won't get into that, but I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because these are all things that were important to Janie Grace and are going to benefit in a way from the 5K and all of the things that we want you to participate in. So let's do we're getting down to we got about 8 minutes. So let's do the big invite for the run again.
Yeah. So August
everybody knows
23rd at Moss Wright Park in Goodlettsville. If you're a runner or even a walker, you can walk or run the 5K. There will be motivational things about the unconditional love and unwavering faith and servant heart and joyful spirit all throughout the course. If you just want to do a 1 mile fun run or fun walk or whatever around the Moss Wright, we also have that going on at 7:30. Just being a presence there, just being there to celebrate with us, to just everything, to celebrate all the good and just enjoy Christian fellowship together is what we really want. We've expressed with a lot of teenagers that God doesn't take pain from us, but the neat thing about God is that He's there with us to go through that. Mm-hmm. And these two incidences are things that are painful and tragic in life, and we just have to know that it's not that He's deserted us. He's there to walk through it with us. we don't get to escape it, all of it, but he's there with us to walk through that with us.
Absolutely, that comfort that we get from him that you can't find any other place.
Yeah.
And I just think y'all are just doing such a beautiful thing, and it's just amazing. And y'all all have our hearts. We all just pounded on the doors of heaven.
Yeah.
That Janie Grace would get to stay around, and but when you look at the absolute beautiful miracles that have been just happening all around this, and that are going, I mean, there's going to be so much more. There's going to be so much more because of this, and I think that's the thing to look at too. And I wanted to, you had mentioned the City of Children. You mentioned that she had her handprints on the walls. Tell
did.
that. I just thought that was so beautiful.
This was really hard for me as a mom.
Yeah.
We walked into the church service. It's just in their gymnasium where they have set chairs up. And the church service, when you go to City of Children, it is spoken in Spanish, and then we also do in English, so it kind of goes back and forth with Spanish and English. The main service is in Spanish, but they put it in English on the board where we could read it.
Right.
Because, again, we've brought in a lot of people from the community, and it's about helping them see God, because we're there trying to grow other people.
Right.
But as we walked into the gymnasium, to the left on the wall, there was Janie Grace's handprint with her name underneath it. And I cried and cried as a mom. The whole church service actually cried. And my son kept saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" But I just kept thinking of the joy she had placing that handprint there. And the joy that she has when she was serving there. And there was actually another place in the middle of the gymnasium that her handprint's there again. She had actually placed 2 handprints. I couldn't bring myself to see it, but my children and my husband took pictures of it for me to see later when I could. Yeah. But it's just her heart's there, and her heart was just in serving the Lord. She had that infectious smile and her strong Christian faith, and she would light up any room anywhere she went. So
just a beautiful, beautiful story of just continuing this legacy of this beautiful child. We've talked about, there's so many things that your mom was telling me that I did not know. I did not know she had been elected as Mrs. GHS, and it was her senior year. It was the beginning of her senior year. Her graduation pictures were just so beautiful, and she didn't get to see those. But she's seen. I mean, she sees. She knows. Yeah. She knows. But just so many things, and just God bless y'all. Y'all have just weathered this so amazingly. My word, if
it wasn't for God, and
yeah.
I mean, we appreciate people saying that, but it's a God thing, and we're just so thankful for how many people have been touched in the midst of everything, even our family. It's just, it's amazing seeing just God all around.
It's like your mom said, it's just, we just have to heal.
Yeah.
And you don't completely, there was a friend of mine that lost a child that be the same age as Jedediah. She knows my kids. And he died of SIDS at daycare. And I will never forget going to the memorial for that baby, and the mom was just, she was not just a crumbled mess. And I was like, how in the world are you holding up? And she says, I do not know. She says, but I had a minister in my life tell me that along life's, path, we have this stream we follow. And along the way, little things will fall in that will cause little ripples. A leaf will cause a ripple, a little pebble, little ripples along that. And every now and then something will break free and fall right into the flow of the river of life, and it will threaten to just stop it. It'll be like a boulder. But even those things, eventually the edges will smooth and the water will continue to move. It will always be forever changed, but the edges will smooth.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I have shared that with because to me, I could not understand how she could possibly be coping. And she says the edges will smooth, but the river is changed forever. And that's where y'all's life is. And that's what your mom's saying. It's healing. Those edges will smooth, but, and God will provide the healing, just incredible. I'm sitting here trying to find the words and probably just need to shut up and just say, I love you. And I'm so, so proud of you guys for what y'all are doing. This is going to be an amazing day.
Yeah. Thank you.
And just the lives that have been changed because of your beautiful girl.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and if you're wanting to participate, if you Google "Be the Light 5K" Janie Grace Moss, it will pop up on Google. It's in the Run Genius Run Sign Up.
Okay.
You can go there. But yes,
So
that's
it's an official run where you can.
It is official. We have the top 3 men and women. We're giving prizes like gift card prizes and a lantern, Be the Light medal, and everything.
How fun!
But we're also, like I said, if you're not a runner, you can walk, crawl.
Yeah.
You can even roll down a hill for it.
There you go. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, just to participate and to be there and celebrate her birthday and make it the biggest party she ever had. We're, like I said, this year we're trying to fully fund her scholarship fund with it. We are going to give a little bit to Grace Place and City of Children as well. And then the few years after, we'll go straight to Grace Place and City of Children.
Okay.
It's kind of what our goal is.
Well, I love it. I think it's beautiful. And I love your family. Like I said, it's been forever since I've seen you guys. But boy, y'all been on our hearts.
Well, thank you.
Big, big, big. The Madison Church of Christ sure loves y'all.
Thank you.
And because y'all were part, I mean, yeah.
For years, my parents were married there and we were married there.
Really? I did not realize that. Yeah. Well, we're still there. And Good Pasture, again, it's so funny when I think about Good Pasture. Everybody's like, your kids went to Good Pasture. I don't think I really intended for it at the time, but it was just like assumed they were going to go.
Right.
My kids were growing up. It was like, well, of course they're going to Good Pasture. I'm like, oh, okay. And we just, they made a way. We got them there, but it was just a beautiful place to be with my kids. And she teaches there. What grade do you teach?
I teach 3rd grade.
3rd grade. Have you? And well, you were telling me you had been at Metro.
Yes.
When did you go to Good Pasture?
This would be my 9th year at Good Pasture. So I taught in Metro Nashville schools for 15 years.
Okay.
Wonderful service there. Just a different mission at Good Pasture, of course.
Yes, for sure.
But being with my children is priceless. And after everything this year, I wouldn't have had it any other way. But I teach 3rd grade at Good Pasture now. Yeah.
Beautiful. Anything we're missing? Because I know I saw Catherine walk in. She's with United Way. She's here to fill us in on the things that's going on with United Way. So do you have anything else that you think we've missed that we need to cover?
No, just sign up. Be the Light 5K in a memorial run for Janie Grace Moss, and all things pink. Pink there that day was her favorite color. So pink bows, pink shirts.
Yeah.
So, and we have a pretty neat swag bag that everybody's receiving as well, with a lot of different donors that have put a lot of neat things in it.
Yeah, your mom was saying the swag bag. You got to come get. Yeah. She was telling me all about the swag bag.
We're also going to have food trucks there. There'll be a coffee truck, an Everbowl, a bagel truck, and a frosted luau. So there's a lot of different elements to it, but we hope that you all can come, show up, and celebrate the life of Janie Grace with us.
Love it. I love it. Can I keep the little cards you got with you so I can leave one here in the studio? I've got one in my bag.
I have several more if you need it.
I think so. Well, and the main thing is just to keep this here so we keep talking about it. Can people register up to the day of?
Yes, we're doing registration the day of. I cannot guarantee a swag bag up till the day of. We're only going to buy so much extra inventory for those things.
Sure.
But yes, you could walk in the day of at the park that day and register if you wanted to be a part of it.
Okay. Well, there you go. And we'll keep talking about it. And I love you, friend, so much.
Love you too. Thank you so much.
I'm so glad to talk with you and just tell your whole family I said hello and
tell your family as well and your boys.
Absolutely. And go Cougars.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Thank you.
Love you, friend. God bless. God bless. And as she's making her way out, I'm going to do one of our commercials and let Miss Catherine come in. I stay live, so you just have to shuffle out. But send me that picture. Send me that picture. I want to see that. All right. God bless you. And as she's making her way out, I got Catherine coming in from United Way, and we want to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty, our longest running full-time sponsor. And if you're looking for help in the real estate community, guys, I'm going to tell you, they are the ones to work with. They've been at this a long time. Rebecca, one of the first in the area to be a seniors real estate specialist. She has been specifically trained to help those folks like us that are older. And maybe you want to, all my kids moved away. I'm not interested in selling my property, but sometimes people are. They're like, well, I want to downsize. I want to do something different. What does that look like? Sometimes my husband threatens to sell it all and get a camper. We're not going to do that. But nonetheless, sometimes people want to do stuff like that. They're not really sure what to do with family land. And if you're a senior and you just don't really know what your options are, she's got all kinds of ideas and information that can help you out. Barry is the marketer of the bunch. He came out of a marketing background. I talk all the time about it. 17 years. He was a vice president of a media marketing company. And that means that he knows all the things. He knows how to make sure your property is seen in the absolute best light. So when it comes time for people to go flipping through listings in the area code that they're looking for, yours is going to pop off the page because it's going to have great photography. There's going to be video. There's going to probably be a walkthrough tour, maybe some drone footage if there's land involved. But they take care of it, and they make sure your property is seen in the absolute best way possible. And if you're looking for something specific, you know, you can give them a zip code and say, hey, can you kind of keep an eye on this area? I'm looking at some land maybe next to mine. I've done that. I'm kind of interested in some property at the top of my property. So if one of my kids comes back and build, they don't have to build in my yard, you know? So we have a little bit of separation there. But all those kinds of things, that's what having a realtor that you're close friends with and that you work with can help you with, all kinds of things. Maybe you're not ready to buy or sell right now, but eventually you probably are going to need to talk to a realtor about something. Maybe you need to know about the value of your property. You can get a market analysis for free if you want to know exactly where you stand. Maybe if you want to pull some equity out. If you want to live in Kentucky and work in Tennessee, that's a state that has an income tax. There's some nuances to that. So talk to them about all those things. Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty. He is the broker here in Springfield. She has an agency office up in White House. So it's Exit Prime Realty, but they're all part of that great Exit company that's been around forever and crosses every T and dots every I. You can call Rebecca 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. And when you speak with them, please let them know that U-Turn sent ya. All right, here we go. Taking a couple of weeks off.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Yeah, so Brian messaged me yesterday, and he said, Catherine's coming in. And I said, well, and I didn't get a chance to say, well, I'll see you when I, like the week before school starts, because I'm taking a couple of weeks off. I just think I need to, I mean, because school is so busy that I'm like, before school starts, I need to just take a couple of weeks and catch my breath. And we're doing a renovation project at our house, and it's just a hot mess. We can't get anything done. And so I've got to just concentrate on that and get my house put back together. So we'll be around, but I'm not going to do radio for a couple of weeks, so.
Well, hopefully you enjoy your time. It's not all work on the house.
I like to work. See, that's the thing. I am happiest when I'm working. Just sitting around, I just don't do very well with that. I mean, I can do a little bit of it, but if I don't have a project or something going, I just don't know really what to do with myself. And that's one of the reasons why we retired into teaching, is because I need purpose, all the time. So, but anyway, just saying, you're my last guest.
Last but not least.
Yeah, last guest for a couple of weeks. For a couple of weeks. So what's going on in y'all's community?
I haven't been here, I feel like, in so long.
I know, I haven't seen
it looks
forever.
different, too.
Yeah, well, Ilya Maldonado is always improving and just making it beautiful and wonderful. And I mean, they've just done a great job. Yeah. Somebody came in, Tommy Marsh, Crooked Eye Tommy was in last week, and he had been in since they did the walls. And I'm like, yeah, man, we're big time. I mean, we're just big time here. So
kind of a big deal.
There you go. That's just it.
So
welcome to it.
Thanks.
So what have y'all got going on?
So today is our Robertson-Cheatham County Partner Convening. It's our first one for the 25-27 funding cycle.
Okay.
So we are going to have that today from 11:30 to 1 o'clock.
And it's what again?
It's our funded partner convening. So what we do is convening. Yeah. So we have it's our meeting basically. So it's a convening.
What are you saying? Okay.
So I know, I'm sorry, it's this accent. Convening. So we will get together. We'll have our funded partners, and we're mixing it up a little bit this time. We're going to have our volunteers as well that are able to attend, that help review and score the applications and do these site visits. So they actually get to interact more with the partners in just that initial portion of it, and see kind of who's been funded, how that meeting works, and we talk about how many applications. We had 211 apply for funding for the 25-27 cycle, and then we funded 184.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we have 40 new partner agencies overall.
Okay, and so by doing this too, people can kind of understand, okay, if I didn't get funded, this is what's missing.
Well, this is for the agencies that have been funded.
Okay.
So this is for them to meet each other, to talk about if they have any events that's coming that's going to be happening in Robertson County or Cheatham County, to share what their organization does to the other organizations, and if there's something that maybe that they need help with, another agency says, hey, I've got that resource for you, or I can help you with that, or we can partner together, or whatnot. So
People ask me a lot of the times, they're like, United Way comes in every week. And I said, well, because they are the bridge to all the nonprofits, and they have so much information with all the nonprofits and the things that are going on that it's just something we need to stay plugged into. People forget. I had somebody ask me about something. I was like, United Way, just a random question. And I was like, have you called United Way? And they just don't realize how plugged into the nonprofit world you are.
yeah, we are that bridge. We are that bridge between, and then the other thing is they can always call 211. So if you call 211 Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, you get a live person, navigator, a live person that can actually help you take your information and help find those resources for you. And they don't just give you a list of resources and push you on your way. They're able to talk to you and figure out, what resource do you need? What area are you in? Do they have funding available if it's listed? So they're not just on a wild goose chase. So, and the partners that are in 211 are funded and non-funded. So we've got it's a huge resource. It's not only just the same list of people that I have. So
when I was working, and I have mentioned this many times, and I'm assuming they still give the number out. I worked at the Madison Church of Christ for about 7 years, and I was at the Benevolence Center a lot. And once I found out about the 211 number, that became the resource I gave people, because for a while we had a list of things that was just that list, but then it would become out of date. And so giving them that 211, I had so many people tell me that they called 211 and they're like, oh yeah, and they gave me this, and this. I can't begin to tell you what a resource United Way, 211, all of that has been since I fully understood what y'all do. And I didn't really understand what you did.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. It's it's we're not just a funding source. We are a lot more than that. So,
and you can call and talk to them if you've got kiddos. You've got to have those volunteer hours for Tennessee Promise. You can call the United Way office, and they will help point your kiddos to where they can get some volunteer hours. I get that question all the time from my kids at school, because there's their Tennessee Promise. You have to do volunteer hours. There are so many organizations and clubs that you have to do volunteer hours to stay qualified. And so I've pointed a lot of them to United Way for that source to kind of give them the updates on that. What else do you have there?
And then I was going to say, speaking of volunteer, if besides just the Tennessee Promise Hours, if an adult is looking for volunteers, we have Hands On, which was formerly Hands On Nashville, but now it's just Hands On. And they cover Robertson, Cheatham, and all 9 counties. They're everywhere. So, but they deal with volunteer services, disaster response. They have Geek Cause, custom corporate engagement for our partners. I mean, Hands On is a huge network, and you can log onto their website and you can search by your zip code. You can search by server. You can really narrow it down, and they have tons of volunteer opportunities. And again, not just for our funded partners. So if somebody's looking for volunteer opportunities, obviously, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help as well, find volunteer hours. But if they're looking for something maybe outside of Robertson County, or you work in Cheatham County, or you work in Montgomery County, or you're looking for something maybe closer to work or closer to home, there's tons of opportunities on there as well.
There you go.
So,
United Way.
Exactly.
Give them a call. So what else have you got going on?
We have Stuff the Bus coming up.
Oh, of course.
Stuff the Bus. That's exciting.
And I mean, guys, we're just about back to school. It's just all there is to it. We're just like right there.
We are.
It's just going to be that quick. And we're starting to have there's professional development going on today and tomorrow, and for the teachers are already back at it, y'all. I mean, we're not really, but I was at my classroom yesterday. And so, I mean, we're back at it. It's time. My friend that used to, Muriel Barnett, said, once the fireworks go off, you're like, okay, you got to get centered back in when you're a teacher. Even though you still have several weeks off, that's when you got to start planning and get ready. So when those kids step through the door, they're ready to go. But there's so many kids that don't have what they need. And that's why we stuff the bus, right?
Yep, it's our 17th annual Stuff the Bus. And so why it's really important is because the cost of school supplies increased 24.5% over the past 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, 25.4%, or excuse me, 24.5. Yeah, it's a huge amount.
Yeah.
So you can host a collection drive, you can donate, you can volunteer. If you go to the United Way Greater Nashville.org, there's there's links that where you can click to download the supply poster. You can sign up to deliver supplies. You can volunteer. You can help with the first day of school prep. So they are going to be actually stuffing but all of that is going to be Tuesday, July 15th and Wednesday, July 16th, both days from 9 to 12:30. And that's to help sort, organize, and pack the supplies for the students.
Okay. And then as far as when will they get the how does that stuff get to the kids?
So each county is kind of a little bit different in the sense of where the delivery spots are. So we have we deal with the Family Resource Center here and have direct distribution to be able to assist in that way, and then our drivers and everything have it all set up. So they contact them directly to be able to drop stuff off, to make sure the students are getting direct service for the backpacks.
I love it, taking care of them. And, and what she was saying about the increase of 24%. So you figure not only are they trying to pay for the extra cost of school supplies, everything else has gone up too. So food and everything, budgets are just blown right now with the cost of living has just gone up so much. And I can't imagine. I remember I have 4 boys, and when we would go to get school supplies and things like that, how incredibly expensive it was to get them ready to go. And you all you got to do is walk in Walmart and just look at the faces of some of those parents just as they're walking through the aisles trying to get stuff and say, there's resources to help you with this. You don't have to do this to yourself. But so I love it. So Stuff the Bus is coming up. What else have you got for us?
We've got Habitat for Humanity. We've got a couple builds coming up. Roberts County build is happening.
So excited about this.
So that's
how can we be a part of this? I want to be a part of a Habitat build so bad.
As luck would have it, we have volunteer opportunity for you.
Yay.
So yay!
I want to do this.
So we are organizing for Saturday, September 6th.
Okay.
Is going to be the build date that we're kind of taking on for United Way. And so the build time is going to be, start time is usually 7:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So it is a full day. And we need at least 20 volunteers would be phenomenal.
That's
our goal. It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Yep. And then we have, there's no certain experience is necessary. I think some people think, Habitat, I have to be a carpenter, or I have to be able to do X or Y. But there's no specific experience is necessary because their crew supervises on site and they help along the way. You're not just thrown out there. So the only thing is that you have to be no one below the age of 16 is permitted on the build site, but 16 and 17-year-olds are permitted with an additional safety waiver from their parents if they do want to participate. And the only caveat is that they cannot operate power tools.
Okay.
But there's a lot of things to do that.
I want to do this. And I, off the top of my head, I think we're free that day. I've been wanting to be a part of a Habitat build for years. And they always end up being when I'm not here or something like that. But September 6th.
September 6th, yep.
Okay. How do we volunteer if we want to do this?
So I'm going to send up a sheet through Facebook. You can volunteer. You can sign up that way. You can email me directly. Okay. You can reach out and I'll get a sign-up sheet together.
Okay. I really want to do this. That's something because I before I get something else on that day because they're so busy.
Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to get my boys to come back and help because they grew up in this community and it'd be a way for them to give back to their community because they're all scattered. They're all over the place. But I think the Vivios need to come on. We could
sign up. It's one day, 7:30 to 3:30. I mean, it's quick.
Easy. Yeah.
It's easy.
Oh, I would love to do this.
Saturday.
I'm gonna put this out to my kids. I'm going to put this out to my boys and see if I can't get them to all come. And I don't know if we can get them all, but we might could get a couple of them at least. That'd be fun.
How great would it be when you're driving by to say, I helped make an impact in that. I helped build that home. Really.
I had some of the people who I've worked with from the Egyptian community, some newcomers to the country that benefited from Habitat homes.
Yeah.
One still, in downtown Nashville, they live in a Habitat home. The dad has got some sight issues, and they have 3 kids, and they were just like they were living in this tiny apartment, and just miracles of miracles that they were able to get a Habitat house. And I mean, it's just been the most beautiful blessing for that family. It's just incredible. If you've never looked into the Habitat for Humanity program, it's breathtakingly beautiful. It is just so cool. It gives an opportunity for home ownership for people who just might not ever get that opportunity. And it's incredible. That's cool. But this is not the only one you said. There's like a couple.
Oh yeah, well that was the one for Robertson County, and then
Okay.
there's a dedication this Sunday actually for a client in Cheatham County.
Okay.
So, which is exciting as well. So there's
it.
but the Robertson build is going to be coming up, and that this is just a great opportunity if we could get 15 to 20 people, that would be wonderful.
I don't
just to
think
be
you're
able-
having any problem getting.
I
15
hope
to
not.
20.
I hope not.
I think you'll be inundated because people.
great.
This is the kind of thing people love to be a part of because it's such a tangible way to give back.
Yeah.
I love it. So reach out to Catherine if you want to be a part of the Habitat build, or find them on Facebook and you can, sign up that way. But that sounds wonderful. Anything else going on?
I'm trying to think
Some
of
of the
what
top
else.
things?
Those are the top things. Our partner meeting today is kind of our big thing, and we're going to be talking about ALICE, which is the Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed. So talking about households that are earning above the federal poverty line, but not enough to afford basic expenses in the county where they live. So we're gonna really touch on that and talk about the impact of how many residents are in that ALICE household, and how they are. There's just such a large percentage of people that fall right on that cliff.
I had
And
never heard
so-
the ALICE acronym, so that's interesting. That's new. But so y'all be discussing that
Yep,
today.
we're going to
but-
talk about that, and then we're going to talk about. We have a little fun exercise. Hopefully, our partners bring their artistic skills today. We're going to do a little rock painting, and it's going to be Be Boulder. That's why on the front of our. partners
Yeah, I
we
was
have-
looking. It's so
rocks.
interesting that your rocks that you've got there. I was talking with my friend that was just in here about the work we do down in Baja. If you've ever been on the beaches in that part of Mexico, those stones are what are on the beach.
Yeah.
And they harvest those stones there. That's like where they get a lot of the income. Those look like beach rocks from Baja to me, and they're unique. They're unique.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see these in the stores and you can go buy them. It's like, where are they from? Well, there's a lot of beach rocks in Baja, and that's when you had that. I'm like, well, that looks like our Baja beach rocks right there. So that's fun, and they're great for painting. They're perfect. They're the perfect rocks to do art with.
Yeah, they're smooth and they're nice, nice oval shape. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah. I bring back a few every time I go because I want to make a walkway with some eventually if I get enough, because but I try to bring them myself from the beach. But yeah, you got Baja rocks right there on the cover of that. I tell you what, let me pause and do a break. Kind of go through your notes and see what we're missing that's coming up. And then we can kind of go back and reiterate some of the dates that we've talked about. And we are talking with Catherine. What is your last name?
Stewart.
I just went completely blank. But she is with United Way of Middle Tennessee, and you serve not just Robertson County, but Cheatham County.
And then I'm part of Davidson as well, but we have a 9-county footprint.
That's just it. And the work that they do is just amazing. We've got the best United Way around. I love our Robertson County office. I really do. I just love working with you guys. But all the incredible things that they do. And they're incredible partners. They're going to, meet with some of the new ones today, and I think that's great. But we'll get back to all that in just a moment. Let me pause and let's talk about the UPS store. This is our latest sponsor to One Street Over, and we appreciate them so much. The UPS store is not just where you drop off your Amazon packages. Yes, I'm going to be going by there today to drop some things off, but I'm just so impressed with their customer service there. Sometimes you get in there, especially during the holidays, and they're just packed. There'll be a lot of people in there, and it seems like the busier they get, the nicer they are. And that seems impossible, but it's just the truth. And the UPS store is not just the place where you drop off your Amazon packages. Everybody in there is a notary. That's something when we were selling everything back home with my parents, after they passed and all that, my brother had me some documents I had to get notarized a couple of times. And I didn't know where to go to a notary. Well, it turns out every person in the UPS store is a notary. So if you need to get something notarized, there you go. And it's super quick and easy to take care of. They've got a graphics art person in there that's done some work for me as well. They can take care of course, all of your print needs, your shipping needs. I've seen them ship some really weird stuff in there. I've been in there when they bring in some really odd things and they can ship it. And if you're concerned about porch pirates, people just steal stuff and they don't care if you got a camera. They just put a hood on. They just take your stuff. Well, you don't have to worry about that if you have a mailbox at the UPS store. And right now, they have got a deal. You can get 3 months free with a 1-year mailbox subscription. But you can go by and get signed up for that, and then you won't have to worry about porch pirates. You're going to have a real street address. You can get packages from all carriers, and you're just going to have that peace of mind. That's a great deal, guys. So you can go by and check that out and learn more about that. They've also got a special going on right now. We're 50% off shredding. That's this month's coupon, and 10% off their wide format print. So they got a couple of specials going on. And the one thing with the coupons that you get at UPS, hang on to them, because even though this month's coupon is one thing specific, if you hang on to it, it never expires. And so when maybe you don't need 10% off wide format prints today, maybe you'll need it next month. Hang on to it, and they'll still honor that coupon. They're at 513 Memorial Boulevard. 513 Memorial Boulevard. They are open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday. They're there from 8 to 6:30, 8 a.m. till 6:30 p.m. Saturday, they're there from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on Sunday, they're there from noon until 5 p.m. The UPS store, one of our latest, greatest sponsors right here at One Street Over. When you get by there, please always let them know that, of course, U-Turn sent you. And as we get back into it here, what else do we have? Do we have anything else that we need to cover? Or have we got it all? Is there anything that we're missing today?
I mean, I've got some kind of interesting stats.
Go for
it. For Robertson County and Cheatham County. But for Robertson County, and just like if anyone's curious, we had 876 referrals were made to the to neighbors in crisis through 211 helpline last year. So
wow.
876 tax returns for VITA, our free tax prep program. We had 118 people utilize that, which is wonderful. Through the Family Collective, we had 21 households served through them. Last year, for backpacks, for back to school, we provided 500 backpacks.
That's wonderful.
So 500 students were ready to learn. Mm-hmm. And through Loads of Laundry, through the Free Laundry Love Initiative, we did 10,580.
Wow.
So,
is Laundry Love still going on?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and do you know what the day of the month? It's like
I believe it's Friday.
Is it the third or fourth Friday?
I'm not quite sure, to be honest.
I'll tell you, if you
say it's the third.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the third, but it happens up here at Sisters Coin Laundry. Yes. And they get going with that first thing in the morning, and I forget what time they put the first loads in, but I know that Stephanie Evans was heavily involved in that. So if you call Springfield Baptist Church, I bet you can find out more information about it, because I know Dr. Evans, I've seen her there, and so I'll bet you she can tell you all about it. And Tiffany Thompson was involved with that, but she's at Safe Baby Court. Mm-hmm. And so they could give you the particulars on, well, Ace, Ace is back at United Way. What is her position now at United Way? I forget. Do you remember?
Yes, her official title. Hold on, I can tell you.
Yeah.
She is a director of regional community impact.
Okay. And it was so fun because that's where I first met Ace, was here with United Way. And then she went and worked for the city. And then the city stole her from y'all, and then y'all stole her back from the city. That's the story I get all the time, because everybody loves Ace. She's a lot of fun. But we just got a great United Way. There's so many wonderful things. Did you have anything else there? Any stats that you wanted to share? Or
I've got some stats for Cheatham County as well.
Okay.
So we had, in regards to the crisis through 211 helpline, we had 350 calls. Mm-hmm. We had 19 families that were housed through the Family Collective, and we had 75 students tutoring through Raise Your Hand, and then we also had 500 backpacks as well.
That's wonderful.
So,
how is Raise Your Hand doing here? Do we have much going on here? Because that's such a
it's
great
on
program.
11. It's in 11 elementary schools.
Okay.
Yep.
So, because that's another one we haven't talked about lately, but that is something that you can do through United Way. You can go in and sign up for Raise Your Hand and help with tutoring. Mm-hmm. You do have to do a background check if you're an adult. And I don't think the teens do, if I'm not mistaken. I think the teens can actually sign up, and this is something you could do for volunteer hours and do some tutoring after you get out of school, go over and help at one of the elementary schools and do some tutoring. I know that that's something we've talked about. There's just so many.
There's a lot of opportunities.
If you're needing volunteer hours, guys, check them out at United Way. They've got it. They've got the answer for you. All kinds of things coming up. And again, September 6th.
September 6th is going to be our build. Yes,
I'm so excited about that. I'm excited about that. I'm going to start putting that word out. Vivios, come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's show up. I want to do that. I think that would be fabulous.
Yep, 7:30 to 3:30. I mean, it's just one day, knock it out, and have a great time.
I think it'd be awesome.
An impact. So.
Very good. Well, I got to tell you, I think that's about it. We've got everything. I'd want to remind you again to register for this 5K run. It is the Be the Light 5K, Janie Grace Moss Memorial Run. This precious girl, I know her people. I did not know Janie Grace, but just seeing the essence of her life through the stories that they've shared and just the beauty of her life, man, God's using her big. Just such a heartbreak losing her, but man, she has just, this legacy is just breathtaking. So we want you to really, please sign on to Be the Light 5K, the Janie Grace Moss Memorial Run. I'll put some links up, and I'll keep talking about this. This is coming up for us on August 23rd. That's Janie Grace's, would have been her 19th birthday. So we want you to be a part of that, and that's going to fund her scholarship and also some City of Children stuff in Grace Place as well. So that's another just amazing thing there. And tell them how to get in touch with you, Catherine, at United Way for anything that we've talked about. What's the best way for them to contact you?
The best way, I would say, is they can contact the office directly. So let me give you our main office line.
Give that phone number twice for me, and that'll be how we'll say bye this morning.
Sure. So it's going to be, it's a 615-255-8501. So
one more time.
615-255-8501.
And 211, the number you can call anytime if you want to know anything about United Way. And what I love that you said, it's not just your funded partners that you find out about the United Way, but anything that's a resource. They have been priceless. So many times that I've handed that number out in situations where people, it's like, I need help with this. I don't know, but call 211 and they can direct you.
And
it's wonderful.
So many services. It's not just food or shelter. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's, if you think of like legal services or tax, there's
kinds of things.
If you need help with it, there's very likely that they have a number for you.
Call 211, and again, check in with your local United Way. We've got the best one. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a part. Tell everybody I said hi. And hey, guys, I'm taking a break. I'm taking a summer break. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and Lee Marie's going to handle things in my absence. And I do appreciate you, my sweet friend. And I will talk to you guys the Monday before school starts. Oh, my goodness. It's almost here. Have a wonderful day. God bless you. And if you haven't found a church to be a part of, I hope you'll spend the weekend just trying to find a spiritual community to be a part of, because I don't know how anybody does life without their spiritual family. So I just challenge you to get that done before school starts back up for your family. Find a place to be a part of the body of believers, and love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. This is 1100 WSGI.
Jericho walls look like they can be conquered.